Well, hello, and welcome back to another episode of IET with Mike C. And you know what I always say, man, I am so glad to be with you here today. Yes, I am. Oh, especially with the way that the world is going now. You know, we say this whenever we have great tragedies, and we have a great tragedy. I know you've all by now heard of the shooting in Buffalo, New York, where 13 were shot and 10 did not survive. And look, one of the things I did not want to make this show, I didn't want to make it a political show. I didn't want to make it social to the point where we were going to be talking about things all the time that I just didn't want to do that, but that's where it seems to be going, and I'm going to continue to try to have it not be that, but we have to talk about this. We have to talk about the shooting in Buffalo. 10 African Americans perished because of hatred, perished because they were black. The only reason. And this is not new. We all know this. This is something that's been happening since we were brought to this land. We thought that with freedom, everyone thought that with freedom that there would also be justice, that there would be equal rights, that people would be able to live in harmony. That hasn't happened. There are truly people in this country who would love nothing more than to have a race riot, because they believe that with a race riot, they would be able to get the power that they don't have right now. Because they hate, and it's not just blacks that they hate. I mean, if you look at the killings that have taken place since 2015, I wrote them down. You have the Asian American women that were killed in Atlanta last year, 2021. You have the Mexican Americans that were killed in El Paso in 2019. You have the Jewish Americans killed at a synagogue in 2018. You have African Americans killed in a church in 2015. And what a lot of us found odd was that the killer of those black folk, they took him, what was the Burger King or somewhere, to get a meal before they took him to jail. This guy just killed innocent people. And they're able to show him empathy. They're able to show him what they can't show us, what they refuse to show us. And I'm not talking about all police officers. A lot of them, just like this thing now that this news is coming out about the police officers who killed Breonna Taylor. Now it's being questioned whether or not that there was money that was in the apartment that was not reported. Let me tell you something. If you are able to degenerate a people, if you're able to make a people seem as though they're all thugs and lazy and dishonest, if you're able to do that to a people, then it makes it easy for you to slaughter those people, innocent people. If you instill fear in the country, if you instill fear in a people, it makes it easy for killers to drive 200 miles and kill black folk that they don't know. I had to take a few days before I spoke on this because just the gambit of emotions, anger, frustration, Not fear, not fear at all, but anger, frustration, disappointment. I've stated that I believe that most people, the majority of people in this country, are fair-minded people, are good people. And just like with everything else, like I said the other day, a lot of the times the squeaky wheel gets the oil, gets the attention. This guy said that part of the reason why he did this is because of this replacement theory that's been championed by Tucker Carlson, who now is real quiet about that aspect of it. I wanted to see what Carlton, I can't even say his name. He's not worthy of me saying his name. I wanted to see what he's been saying since this happened. So I watched him, and I had 3 or 4 videos I was going to watch. I couldn't even watch through the first one because what is he doing now? Now he's totally backing off. You don't hear him talk about this replacement theory. He's not talking about that. But what he's doing is he is trying to use this to discredit the current administration, Joe Biden and his administration. He's trying to use this to, what did they used to call it? This switch and bait. You know, look, I believe what the killer in Buffalo said. I believe that a lot of what he did had to do with his belief in this replacement theory. Do you know what replacement theory is all about? What it's about is convincing white people that the Jewish elite are trying to use colored people, people of color, bringing them across the border and whatnot, to replace white people. I believe it was Charlottesville when they had the white supremacists had their bonfire or whatever it was. That was one of the things that they were chanting, that they weren't going to be able to be replaced. Tucker Carlson, you need to take some responsibility. Let me share something else with you. When it comes to media, and of course the right does not like the media at all, and I myself, I don't trust the media. I don't trust them at all. For those of you who are on the right and you love Fox and you hate CNN, do you know that Tucker Carlson was at CNN for what, I believe at least 5 years. And then guess where he went after that? Another media conglomerate that's considered left, MSNBC. What I want you to know is it doesn't matter if it's Fox, CNN, it doesn't matter what it is. They don't care about you. What they care about is ratings. Tucker Carlson uses right-wing crap to increase his ratings. He uses hate and fear to increase his ratings. And he's not the only one. A lot of them do that. Hate and fear. That's where this replacement therapy crap comes from. Instilling fear. If you can instill enough fear in white people that they're going to be replaced, then they do crazy things like drive 200 miles and kill innocent people. I don't care what you watch, CNN, Fox, MSNBC, it doesn't matter what you watch. What you have to do is you really have to pay attention to what's behind the scenes, what's going on. Remember, what was that, The Wizard of Oz? Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. Pay no attention to 95% of what Tucker Carlson says. I just don't know what to say. I'm so disappointed, and yes, I'm a little angry because instead of looking to resolve this, the media looks to flame the fire. Why do you rely on people so much who are so much not like you? If you were some of my white friends and you look at Tucker Carlson, you say, okay, he's like me, he's white. But I don't know any of my friends that are worth somewhere between 90 million and $400 million. Do you know that Tucker Carlson is that wealthy, extremely wealthy? He gets a lot of his wealth from his great grandfather, who was the founder of the Swanson frozen food empire. Why are we allowing people to go to Washington and represent us who really don't care about us? What they care about is they care about people who are more like them, wealthy people. And that's on both sides of the aisle, Democrats and Republicans. Remember what Trump said when he was running for office? Remember he said, I'm going to go to Washington and I'm going to drain the swamp. Well, what he did was he went to Washington and he jumped in himself without a paddle. So why are we going to continue to let those folks, both again, Democratic side and Republican side, to represent us? Because they're not. They're not. One of the things that I ask you to do on this show, I ask you to do something for no reason that causes someone to smile. It could be a stranger, a family member, a coworker, a neighbor. Do something for no reason to cause someone else to smile. Well, I'm going to tell you, we really need to do more of that now with this type of stuff going on. Because I'm going to tell you, I spoke to a Republican right-wing friend of mine. And yes, I have those friends. I have some of those friends. And this is a friend who actually, from time to time, he visits those right-wing social media sites. And I remember when I first moved to Texas, he told me, he says, Mike, you need to get a gun. You need to get a handgun and you need to get a shotgun and keep them locked and loaded in your house. Because what he told me was that I'm in the South now, he reminded me. I'm in the South. And there are a lot of people in the South who would love nothing more than a race riot. I guess I should be scared, but I'm not, because most of these people are cowards. I guess I should be scared, but I'm not, because I do have faith in the American people still. There is a video going around about a Lyft driver, a Caucasian Lyft driver, who actually refused a ride to some people because they were racist. I think that most people in America are like that. They call him an in-lover and whatnot. Those people there, that's the 1 to maybe 10% at the most. That's not most of this country. But the problem is this. If you, the 90%, don't stand up to them, if you, the 90%, don't call them out, if you, the 90%, remain quiet in the face of racism, you empower them. You empower them. So it's you that I have faith in. I really do expect you to stand up to right, not just do something to put a smile on somebody's face, but stand up to right. Call out wrong. Call out the cowards. It's you and I. It's this great country of America. America doesn't need to be made great again. America's never stopped being great. America just needs to wake up and stand up. Stand up to right. Stand against injustice. Stand against racism. I'm going to finish today with a few quotes from Martin Luther King that really sums it all up. Here we go. He who passively accepts evil is as much involved in it as he who helps to perpetrate it. He who accepts evil without protesting against it is really cooperating with it. In the end, we will remember not the words of our enemies, but the silence of our friends. And shallow understanding from people of goodwill is more frustrating than absolute misunderstanding from people of ill will. I'm going to put that back up and close the show out and say, look, as difficult as it may be right now, be easy. We'll see you again soon.